Hi guys, this is Spazzy, and on behalf of Lulu, this is a review for The Princess Guide. When I recommend games, I always try to throw in some original takes for different genres. And if you're kind of tired of action RPGs and you want something fresh, you might want to consider The Princess Guide. The Princess Guide is an action RPG in which we, the instructor, have to train different princesses, some for totally understandable reasons, and some just because they want to take over the world. Both seem pretty valid to me. As an action RPG, you're expected to smash your way through waves of enemies, completing different objectives along the way, like capturing an area or killing a certain number of enemies, all the while getting better and buffer as the game progresses. While on your path of destruction and death, you'll be accompanied by your princesses or commanders, as well as a fair amount of troops, all ready to unleash hell on your enemies. While the combat is rather simple, it feels very satisfying once you're used to it. This does, however, have some shortcomings. As the game progresses, players will be repeating the same stuff over and over again, and the grind will get the best of some folks. Because even if the combat feels good, the variety of the situations are a tad limited, and some of us will just end up disconnecting our brains. Aside from grinding, you have an okay AI, which results in characters just throwing themselves into combat. Both enemy and friendly units are very dumb, to the point that I wonder if the addition of the strategy-like elements was a good idea at all. As the game features some strategy elements, you'll have to configure some squads with different units and princesses. The princesses are the real protagonists of the game. All of them are very colorful and unique, with lovely and cute designs and distinguishable personalities that make them stand out from each other. Our role as their instructor is to raise them and help them obtain whatever they want, up to and including world domination. They bring with them another unique aspect of the game, sim dating, because yeah, The Princess Guide is an action RPG, but it's also a visual novel with comedy acting as a main appeal for the game. Like most Nippon Ichi games, the characters ooze style, and it's unfair, but you will be falling in love with this cast. A very predominant feature in this game is the praise or scold mechanic, part of the direct guidance system, in which we will need to act according to our princess's mistakes and victories. Why is this important? Because it's a choice we as players can take in the game that will change the story as well as the princess. This has an impact on both the narrative and the combat, since it will help to develop the princess's stats and give us an extra edge in harsh situations. For example, let's say I decide to praise one of the princesses. She will then get a bonus in a certain stat. If I instead decide to scold her, the stat that she receives will be different. As you can see, it's important to use them accordingly to succeed in battle. Part of the knowledge materia system, in which each princess will learn different skills and abilities from battles. It's important for us as instructors to check this when possible, as it's a way that we can make each of them more powerful. Progression in this game comes from more than just battling. As you can see, this game has a lot of different systems, and I just want to say that this might be a bit too complex for such a lighthearted take on the action RPG genre. It works, and it provides a big customization aspect to the premise, and while I personally like it, it's something that I can see as a turnoff for some more casual players. One of the odder aspects of the general presentation of the game is how energetic the visual novel segments feel. Because look at her go! She's probably on her 9th cup of coffee. But the truth is, I loved it. You adjust to the game's very bouncy nature pretty fast, and it's nice to see as it's very easy on the eyes, and it helps to keep the pace of the hectic combat. These visual novel parts of the game help not only to flesh out the characters in the colorful world, but also to give out exposition in small doses. One small pet peeve I have with this Baroque presentation is that, when playing, there are a lot of elements that will be presented in weird ways. This makes the UI somewhat confusing at the beginning, as it's not very organic, so it's something you'll need to get used to, even if it's a very important design choice. It's weird to me because NIS games usually have very clean and easily understandable UIs, with games like Yomawari or Disgaea coming to mind as great examples. It's something you should be able to get used to, though. I think The Princess Guide does a lot of things right, and while some aspects are not as polished or as well implemented as I would hope they would be, I recommend the game to fans of NIS that want something new. If you're a more casual player and just want to smash buttons and progress in a story, however, I think you'll find it a bit difficult to enjoy this particular title. Still, there are a lot of good ideas in the game, and a possible sequel could fix most of my personal problems with it.